Yeah!
So hi guys, this is a video I wanted to do for a long time now. Almost since Tekken 7 release I saw so much top players and streamers having trouble in ranking Leo. Fact is that there are almost no Leo players and almost no knowledge of Leo whatsoever. All you ever hear is that Leo is a great all-rounder with good punishers, good pressure game, good counter hit game, and weak juggle damage. That is almost common knowledge. The most mentioned reason why there are no Leo players is that she is really boring to play. And the placements vary from A+, so very good character, and top 10 character, to B tier, which would be quite bad then. But is all of that really true? Is she really one of the most underrated characters in Tekken? And quick notes about my person. I played Leo since Tekken 6 in 2011. This was my first international tournament back then. I'm not the best or most knowledgeable person in many matchups, but I know my few bits about Leo, and I will try to highlight a few topics about Leo. So you can also see this video as a anti-Leo guide to a bit. So let's start. And we will start talking about her pressure game. And my first real big point is sidestep right, duck kills Leo. And here are a few examples after a block jab into one of Leo's moves. And Leo doesn't really have a great answer to sidestep right here. And of course we don't play Tekken in a vacuum and you can always realign with dashes. But that needs a few frames and you will also lose your momentum. Also all these clips show that randomly hitting a sidestep right will almost be impossible. You see, every single move of Leo's move list right here will be whiffing or being blocked. And the only exception to that is down forward 2, which will hit a sidestep from time to time, but won't launch a ducker, which is quite bad. Other characters like Miguel have moves that can track their weak side, like down forward 1 tracks one side, and down forward 4 will cover the other. Even Kazuya has more moves to track sidestep left. That doesn't mean he has great ways to deal with sidestep left, in particular down big 2 here, but it has a bit of tracking built inside, in contrast to Leo's moves. Also worth mentioning here is that it is more important for poking characters to benefit from the plus frames, while Mishimas will have to rely on different timings anyway. Newer characters like Fakuram can just start out of every move with a million built-in mix-ups and won't need timing or stringing together different moves. I forgot to mention another move which will hit sidestep right. This would be forward 4-3, but it needs 20 to 22 frames to activate and it is minus 14. So not a great way to deal with it either. And that leaves Leo with her homing moves, and of course she has homing moves. So let's start out our next topic. If Leo has weak tracking on all of her moves, does she have any good homing moves? And the simple answer is no. There is down forward 3, which gives 22 damage at a speed of 19 frames, which is quite slow. No counter hit properties, no Oki on hit, and minus 9 on block. So your momentum is gone. Not a fun way to hard read your opponent, stepping and then losing your momentum anyway. You can't compare that to a Claudio back 1, King forward 1, Leroy back 4, or Paul. I'm not even naming his homing moves here. So are her other homing moves better? There is crouch dash 3+4, which is almost exactly the same as down forward 3, but slower. And then there is Bok 3, which is bugged and can be sidestepped by female characters. I don't duck here, the hitbox just has an issue. Isn't it nice that even her homing moves don't track? So let's just say you will need a hard read to track with Leo, which is okay, I guess. So we got weaker tracking, but we have a complete package of moves, right? Right, but most of those moves are weaker than their counterparts. Down for 2 at -13 and not launching duckers is quite bad, if you compare that to safe versions like Law or Paul. Or if you compare that to good range versions, which hit duckers, like Jack or Negan. The only hopkick which has less range is Fangs. Claudio, Julia, all the other characters have a longer ranged hopkick. Down to 23 damage at 21 frames and +4 on block. Stomp on counter hit. Sounds great, right? Tell that to Dragunov's back 1+2, which gives more damage, more on block frames, and a stomp on normal hit. Leo has a magic 4, yeah. 12 frames instead of 11, without any tracking, and the follow-up combo is hard or inconsistent. Remember in Tekken 6, when Brian or Lei had to do hard magic 4 combos? Or Miguel didn't even have one? Not anymore. Brian and Lei have easy mode magic 4 combos, and Miguel also. Leo is the only one left with her Tekken 6 variant. Forward Forward 2 is the exact same speed as Jin's. Same properties, wall splat, except Leo's is unsafe, -10, while Jin's is safe. Leo's punishment and whiff punishment is great. Is it really, or does everybody always only think about while standing for 1+2? In fact, her punishers, except while standing 4, didn't change since her initial Tekken 6 launch, which was great back then, is not anymore today. Just look at the punishers which Negan, Fuck You Rum or Leroy get today. Their 10 frame punishers are as strong as Leo's 13 frame punisher. And Leo's 14 frame punisher does 35 damage as a high and no wall splat. Leroy can do 51 and splat. Leo can revert back to her 13 frame punisher to splat, but even then it doesn't splat as far as other characters. And when looking at Leo's punishers, her first mid punisher is at 15 frames with down for 2, which doesn't launch crouches. So 10 frame, 11 frame, 12 frame, 13 frame and 14 frame are all highs. She really has problems with punishing moves which end up in full crouch. Her first mid-launch at 20 frames with forward 4-3. And if you are too slow with these 20 frames, then you will be at -14, which is quite bad, right? Range 2 to range 3. Let's keep it short. Building pressure is not easy at this range. While Crouch Dash 2 counter hit fishing can be quite good against most of the cast, it crumbles against really good keyboard moves like Jin forward 4, Prime 3+4 or Electric, because it is too slow. There are so many people who overrate Crouch Dash 1. This move is -2 on hit, which means you will get Magic 4'd quite easily afterwards. This move is over 20 frames slow, so getting a counter hit can be quite a chore. Back 1-4 can be interrupted by a good amount of the cast. I'm not even talking about sidestepping it. I will link a video to this in the description. So the conclusion. As everybody got buffed since Tekken 6 or got launched in an overpowered state, Leo is still almost in her Tekken 6 state, which means She's totally playable because she really was top 10 back then, but it will always be an uphill battle to play against the monsters which exist today. If you want to play a decent all-rounder, Law, Dragonov or Kasumi are way stronger and complete in their own game. That doesn't mean that she can't win or is bad per se, but you will need a really good day and good reads and work harder to achieve the same. And that's all the tier list placing is about. The Tekken 7 mechanics haven't done good for Leo. Leo always was able to hit juggles with 10 hits. The one-hit screw moves are locked behind stances or have such a bad recovery that you can't include them in juggles. She can't use the juggle scaling of Tekken 7 for her advantage because she can't cut juggles short with a few power hit moves. Greetings from King launch into Shining Wizard. Her Armor King move is totally useless. Her Rage Drive is just another steppable wall juggle extender, which she really doesn't need. Her Rage Art has bad range if you compare it to other characters. But don't get me wrong, guys. I really like playing Leo, and I have the same opinion as GDCR had with Armor King. I don't really want Leo to get buffed because she really feels rewarding, and also dealing with her shortcomings is quite fun. If you are about winning and tournament placings, Leo won't really help you with that. And in the end, I feel she is not only a character forgotten by the players, but also by Harada and Murray himself. From my own opinion, I wouldn't say that Leo is underrated. Maybe even the opposite is true, because she has so many weaknesses, although always recognized as the perfect all-rounder, which she really isn't. But if Leo got 2 or 3 moves which really address her weaknesses, she would be catapulted into the top 10, top 15 for sure. Namely Magic 4 to the Jin state, so it tracks, or Claudio back 1, so she doesn't lose her pressure when she tries to track, or a Leroy back 4, a down forward 1 natural combo extension for small whiff punishes or full crouch whiffs. It would be all very good for Leo. And that's about from me. The video got quite longer than I wanted, but I hope it was informative. So thank you really for watching. Have a nice day, goodbye and servus.
Yeah!